So welcome back to Module 2, Part 2, and this one is just to show you how to create a simple graph from a table. There is a lot more detailed graphs we'll be expected to do for the student experiment, but at the moment we just want you to get used to using Excel. So I asked you to create a table for Practice 2, and you should actually have something that looks like this. So a couple of things I want to point out. Sometimes you'll collect data from an experiment and you'll have to figure out how to present it into a table. Now for Excel, you cannot have any letters or symbols next to numbers if you want it to graph correctly. Now fortunately the time was all AM, so that was my unit. And then temperature again, I can't have those symbols next to these numbers in Excel. So just like the last graph, I created an overarching heading called temperature, and then we can see that of the water and soil. So go fix that up now if you haven't done that already. Let's go now back to practice 1. Now what we want to do is create just a simple line graph. How do I know it will be a line graph? Because I've got numbers here for my independent variable, and I also have numbers for my dependent variable. So they're both numbers. We're going to create a line graph. So first thing we do now, always double check, because sometimes Excel works super nice for us and sometimes not. But let's just take a chance first up and highlight all our numbers and data, our headings, which we might not always be able to do. Once you've done that, don't click up here onto insert line or area chart. I want us to get into the habit of going insert the scatter chart. And you can see here there is an option with the scatter to be joined by line. So that's what we want to use each time. And you can see that's actually worked out really well for us. They've colored the lines. And you can see here they've said the blue line is temperature in the sun, and we've got temperature in the shade. And just double check, we've got time down the bottom. Yes, because we've got 0 through to 60. So this has actually worked really nicely for us. Now this has got a nice legend, but we don't have any titles. So hopefully you have the nice version of Excel. It's both fine, it's just easier with the plus sign. So you can see if I click on my my graph, my version that has this little plus sign for chart elements, and I can go easily axes titles. Then I can go down here. This is going to be my time in minutes. And over here, this will be my temperature in insert symbol. I've already got it there. Degrees Celsius. And I just need to spell temperature correctly. There we go. And then you just need some sort of title. For example, change in temperature. And sun and shade over time. And what are we changing temperature of? Let's have a quick read. Change in temperature of water in styrofoam cups. Change in temperature of water in styrofoam cups over time. There we go. Now, if you click on your graph and you don't have the plus sign, that's fine, because up here in design, there is add chart element, and that's the same thing. We just go axes titles, and you would come and click that for the horizontal, and then you come back and click it again for the vertical. And if you don't get given a title, you just go to add chart element, and then you can go title above chart. So if you don't have the plus sign, it's the same thing up here in design, add chart element. Righty, that's a basic graph, and same thing over here. what I can do is go Insert, Scatter, choose the one with the lines. Again, just double check this is all gone nicely. Axis titles. This would be time, I want to say of day, AM. This is temperature. Insert, symbol, degrees Celsius. And what are we looking at here? Change in temperature. Change in temperature of paper cups over time. There you go. And again, if you didn't have that chart element, just go up to design, add chart element, and then add them that way. Cool. Alrighty, thank you.